Okay, how many gears do you have in your home studio that you've not touched in the last 8 months? I have a lot. So today I want to talk about the 12 gears that I actually do use in my studio that get used every time I turn on my production computer, every time I sit over there on my desk or over there when I'm recording, the gears that I actually use every single time that I'm in my home studio. I know we are creators. Sometimes as musicians, you buy some gears with the hope of, making that platinum records with it, or you just want that unique sound, or someone just said something amazing about a particular gear and we just have that impulse in us that just makes us buy all these things, probably just to get better. And don't get me wrong, the pursuit for great tone, great sounding recordings, great sounding tools, perfect tools, anything that just makes your workflow gets better, the whole idea of such sounds really appealing. And we just can't say, because, we're musicians. Yeah. But here are 12 things that I actually have in my studio that gets used all the freaking time. And again, it might be different for you. This is not saying, hey, go buy this stuff because I use them. They just work for me. And I'm also going to give you 12 things in my studio that I do not use. They just been sitting there either as props or I just don't use them. They just don't get any use just because I have other things that just does the job better. Sometimes not necessarily better, but just because the workflow is just seamless and I just like a workflow that does work. So that's just kind of my vibe. My name is Dami. I'm a guitar player and audio engineer. If you like stuff like this or videos like this, think about subscribing. The first one, without actually going anywhere, it's this mic I'm using. This is the Sennheiser MK600. I just turned it off axis. This MK600 is not an handheld mic. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's terrible, but I'm holding the mic in my hand like a moron, and I should know better. But this is an MK600 microphone. It will set you back around $250 to $300, depending on where you are. They work perfectly. They are great for content creation, recording guitars, vocals, or just using them as a boom mic, which is what they were designed for in the first place. Great access to noise rejection, so it just picks up whatever is directly in front of it. They're not dynamic mics, but they work well and they do what they do well. They are cheaper. There are more expensive options like you see on Tiny Desk. Those are stereo and those runs into thousands of dollars. This is sub $300, so I use this in every video and every recording or whatever, either for my voice or for guitar. So this is number one. Just released the Colorbox version 2 and did this unique color last year. Was it sometimes this year or last year? I can't remember when, but it did came out and I got it. And I've been using this in stereo with my other white one that I've had for years. And yeah, it works perfectly. I use it on almost everything, either on vocals or as a preamp for my acoustic guitar recordings in the studio. The Colorbox gets used in the studio a lot. And I have the MagSafe sticky thing at the back, so I can just slap it on my desk and it stays there, so it gets used all the time. So that's number 2. All right, so these are Listener Pros in wireless in-ear monitor systems. I've had these for about 4 years, and I kind of stopped using them for a while. I started using the X5 in-ear monitoring system, but the problem with that is it's mono, and with most in-ear monitors, they are mono, and it's just kind of annoying to have it, especially when I'm home. Now, the reason I have wireless in-ear monitors when I'm home, sometimes I go live and do live streams, and I just like to wire myself off like I'm performing on a real stage. Speaking of performance on real stage, I have a show coming up December 27. If you're in New York or the environment, buy tickets to my show. I'll leave the link in the description. Shameless plug. I'll be live at the Coaching Room on the 27th of December. Catch you there if you're in the New York City area, or even if you're not, buy a ticket and support a musician. All right, shameless plug over. These are the Listener Pro. I got them from Amazon, honestly, about $200. They're not cheap, but they're great. Now, they're not just in wireless in-ear monitors. They can be wireless guitar systems. They can be you can use them for speakers. I have used this for speakers for like PA systems. Just plug one in, transmit. So they can basically transmit any freaking thing. I like them because they have long battery life. They can last almost the whole day. They're not on sale anymore. I can't find them anywhere, either on Amazon or their website. I don't know if you can find them on eBay on the used market, but they get used all the time because they last long and they stereo. So I can literally just be recording something here and just have them on, and I don't lose any quality in audio. So that's another thing. Number 4 is my Houghton Salt Press 2. I use this sucker all the time. I literally just had to unplug it from my floor here. It's always there. It's always on. It's both volume and wah, and it's just convenient, especially when you're using plugins, to have volume control on your feet like you have like a real pedal going into an amp or you're on stage. It's just something that I really like to use in the studio, and it's always there. I know there's a Cory Wong one with better circuitry. I don't know. This one works. It's weird. It's not a musical instrument or anything of that nature, but it's a timer. It's called a Pomodoro, but I don't know. This is the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. There are other pricey, fancier ones, but this one just works well, and it's not pricey. It's about $12 as at the time I got it. What this does is you put it on your table, either 60 minutes or 30 minutes or 10 minutes. If you're someone like myself that finds it hard to focus, if you know, you know, or you just get distracted by doing all the stuff in the studio, this is a good way to keep yourself in check. If you put the 60-minute spot there, it stays there and it sets a timer for 60 minutes. After 60 minutes, it starts making noise on you, and you know you're done to go do something else. Or if you just want to, have a proper planned time, maybe you're working on a beat and you just want to burn out or get in a rabbit hole or anything of that nature, you can have that on your desk and set a timer like, hey, client, you're here for 60 minutes. I'm doing your project for 60 minutes, and that's about it. So number 6 is, my hand recorder. I actually have 2 of these. This is the H4, Zoom H4. This is good for capturing ideas either on stage, anywhere in the studio, or you just have a quick idea. Or sometimes when I'm recording videos like these for YouTube, I have a backup audio on this one, which is really good. The other one that I do have, which is the Zoom R4, is probably somewhere on my other desk there. That does way more than just record your voice. That's modeling in. You can have compressors and all that stuff in that R4. If you want a video, I think I did a video some time ago about the R4. I'll leave that over there. That's the number 6 thing that is always on my desk. I don't even have to look, and I'm literally just grabbing each of these gears either on my desk there or the desk here, because I freaking use them all the time. This is the Zoom H4, and they just added a new software update, and with intelligent noise cancellation or isolation, whatever that is, I don't know, but it works well. Battery lasts all day, and I pretty much like it. And I have rechargeable batteries in there as well. So more on that later. And the 7th thing that I have here is the Maono PW200 wireless microphone. Now, I reviewed these not too long ago, but I found myself using these more than I actually would like to, or thought I would. Now, it's a dynamic microphone, nothing special, but this one has a trick down its sleeve. It's actually fully wireless, so you can connect this to your phone. So when I'm streaming live and just talking, you can connect this to your phone and stream your audio straight live and have a dynamic microphone right in front of you. And the battery up to 18 hours. That is crazy. So you can literally have this on for a whole live stream and not have to worry yourself about it. I've been using it ever since I got it, and it's good. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to get it. It also came with a camera adapter as well, which is genius. So you can actually have the audio recorded straight into your camera if you don't want to do the USB-C stuff. And if you still want to use it as a regular microphone, you still can. You have the XLR. It's still right there. If you want to use it as a wireless microphone, plug it to your camera or your cell phone, whatever. Works. Or USB. Still works. A hell of a tool. That's number 7. Number 8, this is my Sony headphones, the MDR CD900 ST. I'm not full. This is the Japanese version of the popular Sony headphones that everyone has one in their studio. They are cheap. I got this for like $90 and paid like $30 for shipping. It's not expensive, but these are the best headphones I've ever used, and I have $1,000 headphones. If you've not seen my headphone intervention video, I'll leave that out there. I did a whole video where I showed you guys how many headphones I have. It's not the cheapest headphone. I mean, actually, this is the cheapest headphone that I own, and it works so great. And it doesn't. It punches more weight than what the price you pay for it. Does that make any sense? Good value for money. Good headphones. All I had to do was just change the paddings here. You can get that for like $20 on Amazon, and you'll be good to go. And that's number 8 thing that I use a lot in the studio. And that's the Pomodoro telling me do something else. I literally had to disconnect this from my microphone over there in the studio. This is a Triton Audio compressor with a K, and what this is well, a preamp. It has up to 20 decibels of gain to your signal, and also gives you a FET type compressor in its small package. So, and all you have is a knob to just say, I want less compression or I want more compression. This is a hell of a tool for like $100. If you don't know anything about audio engineering, mixing, and all that good stuff, and you just want to sound good live without using digital processing, because you might just be CPU intensive, and you just want a hardware that's just a plug in and play, and space is a problem, and you don't have all the space to mount a compressor, 1U or 2U compressor. This is a hell of a deal, and I use this on every and anything. It doesn't have phantom power pass through though, so works better with dynamic microphone. But again, I only use dynamic microphone when I'm talking, so yeah, I probably will have it on this one if I wanted to, but I don't, so I'll probably add compression in post. But yeah, this is a good tool to have from Triton Audio. If you already know, you probably have the FET head. I've heard about the FET head, so yeah, this is a compressor that is just an inline compressor, and you just plug it in and you're good to go. Number 10, it's my Port Express. Yeah, coming in as a surprise, but it actually gets used a lot in the studio. When I'm working with ideas, I just plug it in. It's just always there for me on my desk, whether I'm working on an idea or working on a tone, or I just want to quickly play along. Or I'm traveling, I don't want to take an audio interface with me. I don't want to take my guitar pedal with me. I just want to take something and I still have all my tones this way I like to hear them, or the way I like to set them up. I take the Port Express everywhere. I was away from the house for a while, and I've been using the Port Express to track and practice and play, and sometimes even listen to music, which is weird because it's an audio interface. And the preamps or the amps, the headphone amps, they're actually really good. So if you're an audiophile right there, get a good headphone amp for, I don't know, $150. 11. This is actually my X5 BCA58 wireless system. It comes in this nice charging case. I use these all the freaking time, even in the studio when I don't really need a wireless system. But then, like I said earlier, I like to move around when I'm playing, or maybe I'm doing something. I just don't want to disconnect cables and come back to connect cable. It's just convenient to have it all wireless, both my in-ears and this when I'm in the studio, when I'm tracking or doing live broadcast, whichever one I'm doing, anytime I'm doing. This great battery life as well, and the fact that you can just plug them back into the case and they start charging, and you don't have to worry about connecting cables and all that nonsense and worry about losing them. You just put them in the case, zip it up, and it starts charging. I did a review about this a while ago. You can go check the full there. And that's the 11th one. And the last but not the least, I won't be able to disconnect it because it's always here. This is my Louis Torre microphone. Deserves a whole video on its own. I think I did a whole video on it. It's always here on my desk. It's one of the best microphones that I've had to use, just because it has all the features, all the bells and whistles. The distance to mute is extremely useful when you're on a live stream or on a Zoom call and you just want to move back and you don't want to press the button. And the fact that it actually has a mute button on itself is actually a good plus. Over there, I have to use like a foot pedal to mute my microphone when I'm on live stream, so the guitar sound does not bleed into the microphone and all that stuff. If you record guitar and talk at the same time, you probably know what I'm talking about. Those are the 12 gears that I use a lot in my studio. And yeah, let's talk about the 12 that I don't use, and I probably should list them for sale soon.